Welcome to Chasing K-Dramas, the podcast that dissects popular Korean dramas episode by episode. We dig into the characters, the themes, and everything in between. I'm Chrissy Choi, and I'm here with my co-host,
Dulce Sloan.
We're also joined by a very special guest, Nick Cho,
Oh my
your
goodness.
Korean dad. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yay.
Yeah. We're so excited to have Nick join us because today we are recapping episode 6
Of Genie, make a wish.
Yes. It's going to be so much fun. And we have a special guest with us. What we're going to do is we're going to ask Nick some questions. We're going to put him on the hot seat. We're going to have a little interview session with him. And then we'll dig right into the recap. We have a couple announcements we need to always tell our folks. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube.
Please. Please subscribe.
Please follow us on YouTube.
Bunny worked so hard.
And then don't forget, we are in the middle of a campaign. It's called The Road to 10,000 Sarangees. So please, please, please sign up for the Substack. Follow us on all the socials, YouTubes, all of that.
Because that's our fan club. Club Sarangees.
Sarangees, yes.
That's our fan club.
The beginning, the burgeoning Chasing K-Dramas empire.
Yes, that's the goal. The Sarangees Empire. That's what we're trying to do.
Chebol, soon to be Chebol, media Chebol.
Listen, I am all about being a chebol. If only I could get my hands on the air to, what is it, Samsung, LG, BB Go. We're diving in episode 6, and we asked you to help us because, listen, you've got this pure dad energy in the best possible way, and y'all know Appa, okay, on the TikTokies.
I mean, we've known each other even before I was
I
doing
met you
Korean
before
Dad.
that.
Yeah.
So y'all know your Korean dad. You know, you're the best Appa in the world. And then you had your Appa on there. So it was very great. So we're glad that Nick Cho is here. But we met at a New Year's Day.
We met, the first time we met was that I was friends with Andy Kindler, and you were in a lineup with him.
Uncle Andy.
Yes, a very uncle-y. And it was in San Francisco.
Yes. Was it during Sketchfest?
I think so.
It was probably during Sketchfest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
It's like 6-7 years ago.
probably
Something like that.
Because we met at Sketchfest. Because I remember I did a comedy knockout with him one time. I just always called him Uncle Andy. And one of like these young, like just one young white girl who's a PA. She's like, so like we were wondering if he's really your uncle. And I was like,
Is this man black?
No.
Andy
No.
Kindler definitely is not.
Andy is
he-
nowadays most known for being the voice of Mort the Mortician on Bob's Burgers.
Oh.
He's an older Jewish man.
Okay.
But he's one of those like comic.
We went out for drinks or something after the show.
Yeah.
And we were chatting about this and that. And then somehow, I don't remember how we got on the subject, but all of a sudden, this black woman starts explaining, splaining to me, a Korean person, about Korean spas. And she goes, I'm from Atlanta. And we went to this place.
I was explaining. I was telling you that I had gone.
No. The subject came up, and then you said, let me tell you. And then you started telling a story. And then
I wasn't telling you. I was telling Kindler because he didn't understand what the hell I was talking about.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I wasn't explaining it to you.
But no. But the point is that I went from, I'm a Korean person here, like, you're talking about Korean thing, to as she was explaining these different things that she was, her experience at these Korean spas, it dawned on me, this black woman absolutely knows much more about Korean spas than I do.
Because I stayed in them. There was one time I was trying to decide whether I was going to go to work or call out and go to the sauna.
She went to the sauna.
And thanks God I got to work and found out I had gotten fired. And they're like, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to the sauna. Like, it was just going to happen today. Do you understand? Because I was already 15 minutes late for work. It was a temp job. They were letting a bunch of people go.
Okay.
But then if there's a choice of going to Jeju or going to work, I'm going to go hang out with Miss Lee.
Please do not play with the cord. Thank you.
Oh, because it crackles in the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to murder me.
But
okay.
no, because I think it'd come up in conversation, and Kindler was like, "What? And why do you know about this?" And I was like, "Oh, from Atlanta, I go all the time." And so I was Dulce explaining to Kindler what I would do at the saunas.
Sure.
Because he was like, "Oh, is it like a Russian sauna?" And I was like,
No.
No. because Russian saunas are too hot.
It's a thing
I've
all
never
over
been.
New York.
They're too hot.
All over New York.
And there's no food.
The Turkish bathhouses.
And they're very dark.
No morning, man.
No eggs.
No ramen bar.
No eggs and no pot bean soup. I've been hot all
Food
day.
at the sauna? What do you mean?
I need shike. I need an egg. Then I need to get my soup. Then I need pot bean soup. I've been hot all
People
day
just
long.
go eat there.
Somebody just scrubbed me down like an infant. My favorite thing is telling people about the body scrubs.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? I said, the dead skin rolls off. It looks like Play-Doh. You feel like you've never been clean before.
I know.
But that was the thing at Jeju where you would see, like in the hip bath area, it was all black women and Koreans. And then in the body scrub area, it was black women and Koreans. And then you were just white women sitting in the pools and all of us looking at them like,
You've never been to the Jeju Spa?
I've been to Jeju in Atlanta.
Marietta?
you should have been, it's
You
in
have?
Duluth.
Duluth.
Because it's close to Anderson.
So afterwards, I found myself in Atlanta, and I said,
Yeah.
we have to go.
Yes,
to Jeju.
Specifically because Dulce was talking about it. So we made our way there, and it was like a really amazing experience.
Yeah.
Very unique.
And you can sleep there.
Because Atlanta's unique. I mean, you can sleep at a lot
You
of the
can sleep at
places.
all of them.
What was really unique for me was it was full of Koreans and black people.
Yes.
And it just kind of felt like, this is such a special kind of intersection. I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. I know very well. Like, there's certain...
Annandale, Virginia.
Annandale.
That's Cape, right? K-Town.
Yeah, that's where that was the
yeah.
first place we landed when we moved to the D.C. area.
Yep. That's where I
But,
got my
Washington,
Korean
D.C. too, like, there's ways that different sort of groups and cultures kind of intersect. That's very unique. And Atlanta, I know, is very much that.
Yeah, it
also.
is.
And so I just, like... It was much less for me about the spa Jimjilbang experience. It was much more just about taking in this intersection of black and Korean culture and people and stuff. It was so great.
Well, you have to understand that black people have a bathing culture. Like, we're very paranoid about being clean. So the day
washing legs.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff
got to
like
wash
that.
legs. You got to.
I mean, everyone should be washing their legs.
Right.
I just wanted to
First
say
of all,
this.
but, like,
Please, let's all wash our legs.
It's
the craziest thing I've ever heard.
It's a sin to smell bad. It is a sin to smell bad. It's a sin to be funky. You have to be clean. It's like it's a representation of you as a person, as your family. So it's like it's the washcloth and the scrubby and the whole thing. Like, as a kid, like, it was a bit like you cannot go to bed without taking a bath.
But not a public bath culture necessarily.
No. You have to. I have to know you took a shower today. You have to come out your house smelling clean. Like, in Miami, I remember they would put like after shower they put like, because it's just so hot, you have baby powder on you, and just seeing grown men with just like a little hint of baby powder. Or there was like a powder. It wasn't a baby powder. It was a scented powder that they would sometimes put on us when we get out the tub. And so it was always this idea of, like, especially for women, so when we found out about hip baths, oh my god.
This was the most memorable part of her story.
Because when they say cleansers and tightens, you don't think so. It's the best $35 I've spent.
Nick,
so
couple questions for you, okay? Do you watch Korean dramas?
Oh, it's a good question. I mean, first of all, I appreciate the question mainly because, there's that sort of thing that happens sometimes where it's like people think that because you're Korean, you do all the Korean things.
Yeah, of course.
K-pop, K-dramas, spicy food, like taekwondo or karate was a big thing when I was a kid. Like, do you know karate? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I do watch K-dramas. There's a specific way I feel like that I consume K-dramas, which is my fiance, my partner, Kimmy, who's not Korean, but is Asian American. She's like Thai, Chinese, Cambodian, Vietnamese, like
Oh,
mix.
wow.
But she
caught everybody.
She's everyone.
Yeah. I always say when I got to know her and I learned about her ethnic background, I said, you're Asian the way white people are like European.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Sweet and da-da-da. So
I'm like quarter this, I'm quarter
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
You're
right.
like, oh.
Now, granted, Kimmy, the difference, of course, being that Kimmy grew up culturally very Cambodian, and learning Cambodian Khmer and eating the food and things like that. But anyway, so that said, she watched a lot of K-dramas. She has them on almost every day. We rotate through generally like, the kind of K-drama, like run-of-the-mill, the kind that we talk about here on your podcast. We watch a lot of the dating shows.
Reality.
Yeah, some of the reality shows.
I don't watch any dating reality show. They all make me sad.
They're very entertaining.
Yeah, there's like the sort of big ones like the Netflix, the Singles Inferno kind of stuff. But then there's a lot of the, I don't know how much you've talked about this. There's like the sort of tiers. There's your Netflix and major streamer sort of Korean dramas. Then there's the ones you have to hunt for.
Oh yeah, online.
Then there's the ones that you need a VPN for.
The VPN.
And I'm not going that far on the internet.
Yeah.
You have to go hunting for
Sometimes you have to go
things.
hunting,
Yes, you have to go things.
In the crates.
VIU, have you seen that before?
VIU, they have a lot of stuff.
VPN,
yeah.
all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so that all said, for me, I'll catch parts of shows here and there, and then certain ones I'll sit down and watch. The way it usually happens is she'll be about 3/4 of the way first episode 1 or 2. This is how Queen of Tears went. It was episode 2, like midway through. I'm kind of watching, and you just get a vibe just from certain things, and you kind of know like this is kind of could be for you or not. And that one, Queen of Tears grabbed me. A bunch of the other ones grabbed me. We watched one last week called Miss Incognito.
So it's supposed to be really good.
I think I had.
So that's on like Chosun TV. I think that one got rave reviews. I love the main. Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That is supposed to be really good.
So that one, she was halfway through the episode 1.
Yeah.
Then
I need to watch
that
one.
And she said, "We're going back to the beginning because I don't want to explain this to you." And so then we,
that's very nice of her.
Rewound. But so the Genie Make a Wish, I've caught bits and pieces of as she was watching it. I did watch all of episode 6. I won't tell you where. I watched it in the car on the way up here today while I was driving.
Hey, listen.
Look.
You do you.
Yeah.
You're a busy guy.
I have one of these things, these phones with this big screen. So just kind of like watching, not really watching, listening. Because I know enough Korean to be able to just kind of listen and get in. And then most importantly, everything they're like, who's that? What are they talking about? Kimmy could answer everything. She's encyclopedic knowledge
of K-dramas.
K-dramas, but also anything that she's ever seen.
Oh, that's great. That's cool.
She's great. It's kind of a thriller, kind of a chasey, kind of little bit whoddunit, and also because it's a K-drama, like very wholesome, like with kids and stuff. Don't you love how the intergenerational they mostly tend to be?
Oh, there's always a grandma. There's always a Halmoni hanging out with some kid.
And there's always a kid that has an opinion. The kid has an opinion.
I got shit. And it's the same voice.
Do you have a favorite like K-drama that like you just like if you talk to someone and they ask you, hey, like give me a recommendation?
So I don't know that my tastes are the same as everyone else, which is great.
Doesn't matter.
There's so many different kinds.
Yeah.
But my favorite lately, I will say that Queen of Tears was up there.
Really? Okay.
And then this one came out earlier this year called Our Movie. That surpassed it for me. It's small enough.
Yeah.
But like the acting is, especially of the lead, sort of male lead. I feel I was so blown away by his performance. Every scene, just when you want to see sort of an acting performance like your Daniel Day-Lewis or like kind of thing, and you're watching someone. Philip Seymour Hoffman, and you're watching every scene. You're like, God, they just bring it a certain kind of way. This guy, but he's very repressed, very Korean, a certain kind of thing, like carrying a lot of different mood, but very Korean sort of like subtext and things all at the same time, and just to carry that through scene after scene with every close up. Just incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible. And I've seen it on some other people's like top 5, top 10 of all time lists. So, and I'm not alone.
Yeah, he's in a ton of stuff. He's a very like emotive person.
Yeah.
And I think the lead, it seems
in
like
such a Korean way.
I know he's very And then the lead girl, the woman, I think she's in Miss Incognito.
Yeah. And she's great.
Yeah,
I think she's fantastic.
She was in our favorite Vincenzo.
Vincenzo.
We did not like Vincenzo.
I tried to start it. There was you're asking me to. There was too much mental gymnastics happening. I'm like, so he runs the mob, but I'm out. Like, he don't even speak. I watched like maybe 10. I was like, no, girl, I can't. Between the
like
premise,
a psychological thriller kind of thing.
I couldn't get to the psychological because the premise was too goofy. I watched like 20 minutes and I'm like, girl, I'm done. Also, that little boy, I was like, ain't nobody finna listen to nothing from him. I didn't trust him.
Songjoong-gi didn't trust Songjoong-gi.
He a
teeny little thing.
I ain't like him.
The only thing I know about Vincenzo is that there's a cameo of one of the characters in Queen of Tears.
He comes,
so the little boy who played
Vincenzo comes on,
was the cameo. But I'm like,
her lawyer.
I'm supposed to believe he's a consigliere. I'm like, all
he's
right.
a consigliere lawyer.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, why do you think that these dramas are so popular? Right now, because there's been a big blow up with everything in the past couple years, and so because we like to ask our guests why we think they're so popular and what makes them universal.
I mean, you have the podcast, but sometimes with the internet, especially, you can get caught up in a bubble and not realize like how sort of niche something is. Mm-hmm. But you all are the experts in this field. You know, much more than I am. Is it more popular?
Well, I can tell you. So, like, there was an article that came out in 2021, where is a Korean American reporter. She did an article for the Washington Post about how popular Korean dramas are with Black women. Mm-hmm. Because if you look at the people that do podcasts about Korean drama, a lot of them are women of color and a lot of them are Black. Mm-hmm. And so it's because she was like, well, how is this a thing? And so so I was like in this group, like during the pandemic, it was on Clubhouse where it was like 200 Black women that were all fans of Korean dramas.
I remember that.
But they were like younger. Mm-hmm. And so one day I was like, y'all don't understand how happy I am. Cause I thought I was like in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, just one point I was like, I'm so excited to have other Black women. They're like, okay, girl, that's great.
I got you on Clubhouse.
Yeah, Clubhouse was nuts. Clubhouse was nuts. I hope they made their money.
The audio app.
But it's but I do wonder what makes them universe. Like why people? Because like my lawyer watches them and he's a 60-something-year-old Jewish man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't you feel like in a lot of ways K-drama has sort of filled the hole or been the evolution of what like soap operas used to be?
Yeah, because that's what they used to call them, like Korean soap operas. Because when I was younger, that's how it was like explained to me. And so it was very much because some of like, especially like the family dramas were very like, because this is very much like TV.
Sure.
But like if you would watch like the family dramas, they were very soap opera.
Right.
I think there's like an evolution of it. I think like it's almost like kind of split if you think about it. The way I think is it's split into like 2-3 parts of when people discovered K-dramas. So you remember like right after like the Hallyu wave, which was like early 2000s, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like, I don't know, like
when we say people, we're talking about non-Korean.
Non-Korean. Right. Yeah, when the non-Korean audiences started coming in, what was it, Gyeolyeonga, which was Winter Sonata?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that one? That was like very early. Yeah. So that hit, all of Asia started watching it first, right? And then all of a sudden, people started like watching it in Latin America. And I think a lot of like the boom of K-pop too really helped because it coincided together where people are like, oh, like the music's kind of cool. Why don't we start watching? And then like there was this like very deep internet culture of people really getting into it. So when I was in college, I was always blown away because there was a site called Drama Beans. It still exists. I love Drama Beans. And they would just recap dramas, right? Mm-hmm. But if you go into that or like the Soompi forums, you would just see people of like all races, all different, like everyone loved it, but it was very niche at that point, right? Yeah. So that was like part 1. And then like part 2, part 3 would be like you're saying, like, because I feel like American TV and like the industry kind of started shifting, and when it started going to streaming, there are less shows that were getting created, right? Yes. They were licensing international content, and then once everyone starts having Netflix, then you have like a boom of people coming in and they're like, oh, what is this? I'm curious. And then during COVID, because I think a lot of people, like what you're saying, like Clubhouse and stuff, when people were just at home.
It's like I watched everything.
Yeah, exactly. You have nothing to, like you really have you have so much time on your hands. So you're like exploring more. And then I'm also curious too at TikTok. Because I feel like when you joined TikTok, that started, for me at least, watching TikTok, seeing people and like seeing the engagement with our content. People are ravenous for like, not just like K-drama content, but just like Korean content in general. They're just like, I want to know like what's soju, or like, I want to know how to do this and that. But I'm curious, like with the TikTok stuff, like when you started TikToking, like, are you seeing like more and more, like, you know?
I mean, the whole kind of origin story of my Your Korean Dad content was, you know, Korean culture was getting really popular. Yeah. And it seemed like, you know, it could be something cute and kind of wholesome that I could do. I'm a dad, I'm Korean, you know, kind of thing. So that was a big part of it. What's really been interesting is getting to know a lot of other content creators and become a lot of friends with like all sorts of content creators. And the number of us who have a a huge following in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
You know, being U.S. or Canada based, but then having huge Southeast Asian, follower counts or base or whatever. It's honestly a little bit, I have mixed feelings about it because I remember vividly it being in the 70s and 80s into the 90s, feeling a certain kind of inferiority complex being Korean because, for a lot of folks nowadays, it doesn't make sense to them that when I was a kid in the, I'm 51 years old now. When I was a kid in the late 70s, early 80s, most people I encountered in the world didn't know what Korea was.
Yeah.
They were like, what's that? No, are you from China or are you from Japan?
I mean, I got that in the South growing up in the 90s.
You know how I knew what the difference was?
What? How?
You bought your hair from Koreans. Vietnamese did your nails.
Yeah.
You got food from the Chinese. So you knew who everybody was because you don't want to disrespect nobody because they either doing your nails, selling you food, or selling you hair. I think there's also, because of the current culture, it's frowned upon to come up to somebody and be like, so you're from this place, and just assume. So I think now, like, as a society, we're making people be more responsible for knowing about other people and not just assuming that every Asian person they see is Chinese.
Yeah, and I really think it's access to information. I am always just like, the amount of stuff you can find on TikTok, it is mind-blowing. Do you have any other questions?
Like, if you found the genie, what's one wish that you would make if you found this genie?
That's hard.
That is a hard question.
That's hard because, especially when you watch the show. I mean, the whole message of the show, right?
Yeah.
Is Satan might be good?
Well, it's good versus
I mean,
evil.
there's a few.
Human, the core of humans, like, are humans good? Are humans bad?
Well, this is a good segue into the conversation about the show because for me, the parts that I've watched, the most impactful and interesting theme for me is that no benefit to any individual comes without great cost to others.
Yes.
Right.
And to me, like, that's actually the most interesting part.
Yeah.
And like, even though the way the show is sort of set up, it's sort of implied that the genies kind of set it up so that, like, it's almost like every blessing comes with a curse kind of thing. It doesn't have to be that way. But I also feel like it's a good lesson that there, if you're going to wish for all these money, the money comes from somewhere. It doesn't just drop from the sky.
Nothing's free.
Which was a good, especially with the dog, the Daniel Henney dog, wanting to be rich. And he was like, well, I got to go rob Angel of all of his money. Because I'm sure it was like, 1,000 years ago, it was like, give me gold. And it was like, yeah, you just take somebody's gold. There's nobody tracking this gold. But now we have, like, transactions and banking. So it's like, give me this girl's money. You can't just, like, go to her warehouse and tell all her coins. It's now it's like, oh, we got to do an electronic transfer.
What is that thing, the Bitcoin ledger thing, the blockchain? Yeah,
the
like
blockchain
keeps track of.
Keeps track of everything.
I don't even know what those words mean. A block and a chain? That sounds like prison.
That's where, anyways. So, okay. So that's one of the themes. Okay.
Yeah.
But that makes it. But that is interesting because it was like, because even when Genie grants, well, that's in the next episode. But when you see him, like, granting wishes for Kyung in the past, it's like, for you to get these things, someone else had to lose. It's like kind of like the idea, which is like, energy can't be created or destroyed. It just kind of moves.
Yeah.
So it's like,
energy.
Right. And so it's like, all right, if you want these coins.
Yeah.
Ain't no printing press. This ain't Fort Knox. So we're going to have to figure it out one way.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
So we're going to get into the show.
Yes.
And so our key moments are the wishers.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you to say the names because I'm not confident.
So the wishers are Imsan, Sangtae, and Bokyung.
I could have done that.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't have.
I'm always fascinated when I've watched YouTube videos of, like, K-drama recaps. And it's like, I don't know if it's just because they're using the AI voice thing, but when people don't pronounce the names very well or certain words. I understand certain things are hard to pronounce, but they said it in the show 1,000 times.
Right. And so that's why it's like, and also
I think it's because they're reading too. I think the romanization, even for me, when I'm, like, reading stuff and I'm writing, when I have my script, I started putting Korean, like, Hangul next to it because I'll, like, read it quickly and I'll say it incorrectly because the romanization's off the
like
spelling.
Im Sion.
임선. So I know
Right.
that for like, so it's 임선 상태. So if you like read it, yeah, it'll be like
Yeah, because if I see this,
상태.
it's, because I can say imson sangte, because I can mimic, I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
pair
yeah.
it back. But when you're looking at it, I'm like, okay, that's a bunch of syllables. That's a bunch of syllables. But I'm also, because of my name, also very funny about how people's names are pronounced, because I want to make sure I say your name right.
No one's saying
Yeah.
Dulce.
No, or
Yeah.
Dolce, or Duce, or Deluce, or Priscilla. That's also happened to me. Somebody called me Priscilla. Anyway,
So
they continue their ill-fated path to human corruption.
yes.
And then the village Ajummas are suspicious of Halmoni's long trip. And then Kyung goes to the past, and her hourglass in Genie's lamp activates. And we all about the activization.
Okay, so the opening scene, right?
Opening scene.
So-
Angel.
So Angel is trying to tempt our Kyung, being like, "Hey, do you want to go to the past and see what happened?" And our Kyung's like looking at him, and he's basically like, "You know what? We share a mutual enemy, so that's what makes us friends." And Kyung is staring at Angel, trying to figure out whether he's telling the truth or not, because she's studied faces. So our girl's a psychopath, and her grandmother Halmoni,
that they did
I
that.
know, our
It's so
Halmoni
funny.
has taught Kyung to understand human emotion through facial. Right, face, right? The facial expressions.
So in her bedroom, there was a slideshow on a projector.
Just faces.
And it's just like happy, sad, angry, frustrated. And so she taught Kyung, because Kyung doesn't have all of these emotions.
That's the psychopath test.
Right.
Yes.
It
and
comes
so-
from that originally.
Right. And
Right.
so that's why she's teaching her. So now that's why she's studying old boy's face. But this bothered me because I'm like, Angel should know enough about, one, he spent 20 years studying psychopaths.
Yes.
Two, he should know enough about people since he's been the angel of because he's had way more interactions with people than Genie ever did.
Yes.
So he should know enough about people to be better at this plan.
Yes.
Because he's trying to deceive her, and she shuts it down. She tells him to get lost,
it's like, gotcha!
and then she slaps him in the face,
With the shovel.
Yes.
It's a very violent.
and he flies away. just airborne. And then Edom is on a date with Sade,
which is so cute.
and then also that actress is gorgeous.
I know, we talk about it. I forget her name, but she's very, very pretty.
She's
She's
so
stunning.
beautiful.
She's stunning.
But it's like, how is Angel name? How is he so bad? I think
Angel, we're talking about the Grim Reaper guy, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Grim Reaper, yeah. So
But-
he's Angel Grim Reaper.
But
Yeah.
how is he so bad at this plan? Also, he's been selling real estate since years had two numbers.
He's
So
been
like
selling real estate.
but he should know more about
Humans,
He
yes.
has more human interaction than Genie ever did.
Yeah.
So between selling all this real estate and dealing with people who make deals,
Yeah.
and then dealing with people when they're at their last moments and hearing all their he should be better.
Yeah. Well, I feel like in this episode and the next and the upcoming, because I went up to like episode 9, I think it's interesting because we're kind of learning a lot of these magical beings, right? These heavenly creatures.
Are dumb.
They're dumb, and they are also making, I mean, they make fun of humans being like, oh, humans are stupid, evil, but they're making these human like mistakes
Very human
constantly. So maybe
mistakes.
that's probably what the writer was trying to do, make him more like relatable, right? Because he is a little bit dumb.
Because he can't be so supernatural that he's like, I can get,
Yeah.
ding, 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 and then she does what she wants to do there.
So, and then the next scene, we have a murder mystery on our hands, okay? It's so interesting how
this
every
is all I
Korean
watch.
drama, well, all K-dramas nowadays, I feel like they have like everyone's obsessed with true crime. We all are, right? So they have to add in a little bit of like,
I think the
a
last
little
couple of
mystery.
dramas, because like when I watched Behind Your Touch, which is very silly.
Do you know about Behind Your
no.
Touch? Tell them briefly.
So Behind Your Touch, basically what happens is this veterinarian she gets struck by lightning while she's doing an appointment on a cow.
Uh-huh.
And she's on the hindquarters of the cow while she is struck by this lightning. And so she gets the psychic ability to read the thoughts of any living creature if she touches their butt.
So she touches a
I
human's
thought I was
butt.
gonna say like it sounds. Does
Behind
it
Your
have to do with
Touch.
touching butts? And
Yes.
that was gonna be a joke, but that's actually
That's
what
why
the show's
Behind
about.
Your Touch is a great name.
Right.
But yeah, so she starts with animals in her veterinary practice, and then this cop
That's
sees
so
her trying
funny.
to like read a person, and he's like, "Hey, you're being inappropriate," and she's like, "Oh no," because he keeps calling her a pervert throughout the show.
Pyonte.
And then what is the word?
Pyonte.
Yeah, that's what he's
Pyonte,
saying.
yes.
And so then eventually he uses her to catch a serial killer, because the owner of the cow if he touches anybody's leg, because he was on a lower part of the cow than she was, then if he touches anybody's leg, then he can read thoughts. But the two of them catch a serial killer.
I do appreciate that a lot of the Korean shows have sort of carried on the tradition of like those movies and TV shows from the States that were like struck by lightning and touching a butt, or like there was an eclipse and you're on a plane touching the old book.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Bon Appetit.
Bon Appetit.
You know, kind of thing. It was like there was in the 80s there were a bunch of movies where people got these weird powers, but they had to explain why.
Oh, because it had to happen during an eclipse. So many things would happen during
Always
an eclipse.
during an eclipse.
When I watched Queen Sunduk, one of the ways that Michelle was able to flex her powers, because she had a farmer's almanac that she'd gotten from the West. And so she was able to predict, right, and so she was able to predict an eclipse.
The police arrive at Kyung's shop, her auto shop, and they're looking for a missing woman with blonde hair, okay? Mm-hmm. And then they're like, okay, this woman's reported missing. If you hear anything about her, just let us know, right? After they leave, Kyung opens a drawer, okay? Mm-hmm. Because in episode 2 or 3, right, Sang-tae drove his car to get it fixed because he had hit something. Mm-hmm. But on the taillight, right, it was broken and there was like hair and blood.
And so we found out, and I was like, so while I'm watching this, and I was like, hair and blood on a tail light. Oh, we got a mystery on our hands.
Yeah.
And so I just was watching the show, waiting for us to finally get to the mystery. So now it's episode 6. But you see that she has saved the
evidence.
The evidence, and it's
She's
in
smart.
a Ziploc bag in the drawer next to a pack of black hair dye.
Right. So that's, you know.
And I was like, well, who needs this hair dye? But I love a murder mystery in all of its forms. Because what is a hometown cha-cha-cha?
Hometown cha-cha-cha.
Ended up being...
Every single drama now has these like little like mini like murder little sections.
Which is
and you're
crazy
just like,
to make a murder mystery your B storyline.
I know. The hometown cha-cha-cha. I think that was one of the first ones. I was so caught off guard. I was like, what's happening?
Well, I was like, well, this is cute. They're falling in love. He's a cop. Wait a minute. We're solving a mystery.
And then, no. When the camellia blooms.
When the camellia blooms. When the camellia blooms. Yeah.
A woman dies, okay? Mm-hmm. And Angel and Edom are watching, right? Because Angel is Grim Reaper. And he's like, oh, it's been so tough for me. The past, I've been having to do this for years. Back in the day, I used to have to call in the murders. Yeah. So he's just like, he's basically there observing, making sure that the dead has been, that he.
I know it's just a story, but when they're in the scenes like that, and when there have been scenes like that in other things, I'm always thinking to myself, someone's dying somewhere right now. Why aren't you off where they are? Why are you hanging out over here taking your sweet time? I know, suspension of disbelief. There wouldn't be a story. It's like Santa Claus delivering the things around the world.
As a kid, I never believed it.
Santa Claus?
Well, I never believed in Santa Claus. I'm like, one, this makes no sense to me. It never made sense to me. But then I was like, well, there's a bunch of countries that don't have that aren't a bunch of Christians. I'm like, so you can just jump a bunch of countries. But I always think about when other things where they have like the angel of death. It was like they said because he's always around corpses. Now he's wanted by Interpol.
That was really funny.
And my question is, why are you using the same face?
Can they choose whatever face?
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you because the thing is, are you?
I know. Why can't you switch it up?
Switch your face, because when you watch him, like when he is in like the painting, he's not Korean.
I know. They're supposed to be Middle Eastern.
Right. So he could have also. It's like if I'm dying in England, I don't know if I'm gonna be like, who is this Korean man in my house? Like, what is? Shouldn't you, in the same way that Genie was like, we show up to look like whoever rubs the lamp. Yeah. Do you show up looking like whoever is dying?
Maybe.
Also, when I thought the same thing, it's like, well, there's other people probably dying at the same time. Is this a carpool situation? So it's like, all right, you sit down. I'm going to be boom, boom, boom. Like,
maybe they have regions. Maybe Angel.
Jurisdiction.
Yeah. So maybe he is responsible for Korea.
For like the Third Circuit.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if God made angels, they got to be everywhere. You see
they
what I'm
have
saying?
To be everywhere.
So it can't be like, all right, Edom questions his visit to Kyung, and she already knew he got knocked upside the head.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's the more and more we go into this, it's Angel Nim's not feeling like Angel Nim.
No.
And it's bothering me because it's like, I knew that he was going to be, I mean, you could tell by the way that he's built that he was going to be a bad guy. Right?
I kind of wish
this actor was giving me like, oh, you're going to be bully, you're going to be mean, you're going to be bad guy.
He's so good looking. So he was in Pachinko, the actor. He was in Pachinko.
He was the pastor husband.
The husband, right. Yeah. I wish that they had more of a second lead storyline for him, but I think I kind of knew. I think we kind of talked about it. I was like, I think he's just going to be bad and annoying. It
would have made more sense for him to have a second lead storyline. But she's already a psychopath. So we aren't having a hard enough time getting her to fall in love with one man. We can't have her not fall in love with another one.
I can picture your whole wall of all little Post-it notes of like the storyline 1, storyline 2, and this and that. Yeah.
Or it would have made more sense if the daddy of the little boy, the boy from college, remember the one she was waltzing with?
Oh, the freak, yeah.
Yeah, that goofball. If he would have tried to come in and be second lead, because remember he had a crush on her in college.
I think I'm kind of missing, though, in a couple of the dramas, I kind of missed the second lead.
We're missing second leads
There's
now.
not many second leads in these like current Korean dramas that we're watching.
But also sometimes the second lead was...
define second lead for
like
me.
you always have a love triangle. So like a traditional Korean drama, a rom-com always has two men fighting over a woman, right?
Who has tuberculosis. Right.
Just slowly coughing into a nap.
Or she loses her memory. Like, yeah, I kind of missed that. So we were trying to figure out if this, when Angel appeared, because he was so good looking, and they like made him all sexy.
I think those kind of things is a perfect example of the kind of thing that if you ask the producers or the directors, like, why is that missing? They would say because it was we were beating a dead horse. Like, we moved on. Like, it was played out. You know, but it's very common, right? Especially as for Korean Americans.
Yeah.
Like, you know, did you know, like, was sundubuchige?
Yeah, I love sundubuchige.
You know, it's really hard to find in Korea.
Sundubuchige?
Yeah, it's not like super rare, but
what is this soup?
The tofu, the silken tofu,
the tofu soup,
right?
BCD. But hey, I knew it was a soup.
People go to Korea all the time and expect it to be land flowing with sundubuchige, and it's considered sort of like an old-fashioned dish. Like, it still exists in pockets.
Interesting,
but it's not a thing. Like, there's so many more sundubu places here in the States than there are in Korea.
Oh,
like
that
per
makes
capita, like as a proportion of the number of restaurants. You know, it's a played out kind of thing. It's like beef bourguignon or like chicken cordon bleu or something that we think of as like being a thing from 30 years ago.
Chicken cordon bleu nowhere, or like a chicken Kiev,
These
or like a country fried steak.
Yeah, these used to be very, very common, but then it's like everyone kind of moved on. Now they're all trying to do hamachi crudo or something like that. You know,
makes me sad.
I mean, just a bunch of fish, bunch of raw fish. But that's interesting.
Now. We go, right?
We're back in town.
We get distracted, but we're back, okay?
Oh, I'm good for a ramble. You've met me.
I know.
I am a tangent.
So,
Call
we
me
have this random scene very quickly. Like, Genie is, like, playing video games. He's playing with both hands, right?
Because he's playing himself.
Little boy's there.
Which
the little boy's like...
that part made me mad, seeing him play with both hands.
Well, he's obsessed with video games.
It's a Street Fighter thing with the joystick and 6 buttons. How do you play with?
He's doing it because he's obsessed with it. This has changed his life. So once now he's in human life, right? He loves video games. Food. He loves beer. And he goes home, right? Because he's trying to find Kyung. Then he sees, this part cracked me up. He sees Halmoni, Miju, right? Because she's a younger version of Halmoni.
Right.
He's using his carpet to dry out the red chili pepper.
His magic
carpet.
Yes.
I thought that was so funny.
Well, because he rushed home because he was like, oh, if Kyung's in a bad mood, she won't feed me. Yeah. And she's always like, why are you suppressed about what food is? You
can't
don't
even
have to eat.
Yeah. So
Korean.
Then he realizes it's the 4th, right? It's Ha. That is when Kyung practices dying. Okay. So Kyung has this thing where, right.
Yeah.
We have to explain. So she is practicing her death. This time she's snorkeling, right?
Is it she's practicing her death, or she's creating like a cover story for when she dies?
Cover story for when she dies, but she's like practicing because she does it all
when grandma dies, she's gonna die.
Right.
Yeah. So she's coming up with, but she wants to practice to make sure that she has a viable.
She gets her story
straight.
Got it.
So she's snorkeling, and then she lets the oxygen mask go. But then Genie comes. I thought this was very interesting. Genie comes and he puts it back and he saves her because Genie likes her.
He pops up in the bubbles and like, hey, you can't kill yourself. You should let me kill you. But also did not say you cannot get out of a drama these days and not get in that water tank.
I know. She was in that water tank for a bit.
She was in that water tank, and then Genie and Angel's fighting in that water tank. Pay attention to any Korean drama right now.
They're always in
I don't know
tank.
who's paying for that tank. I don't know.
CJ E&M.
If it's CJ E&M or JTBC or whoever the hell's paying that tank, you won't get in this tank in this episode.
Studio Dragon.
Yes, Studio Dragon.
Studio Dragon will make. Listen, we put a lot of. This is a 5,000 gallon tank. Y'all gonna swim today.
Yeah.
So then we jump over, right? So Imsan, oh my God, this part. So Imsan is the first lady, the grocery store lady who made the wish. She is tracking down her daughter. The daughter is literally in a motel with a bum of a man, and they're smoking cigarettes, playing video games, and she's just like she's a mess.
So smoking cigarettes inside a hotel.
Listen, it's this drama loves the cigs.
Have you
Loves
ever
the
been
cigs.
in a hotel that allows smoking?
No, maybe in Korea. I don't know.
I've been to one in America. It is the worst smelling
It's so
thing.
I mean,
disgusting.
but they're trying to set the scene that this
Oh,
is
and
like
I know what
rock
the room
bottom
smells
kinda,
like
yeah.
because I've been in a hotel room that allows smoking, and you can't get out alive.
So she's super upset because basically what's happening, because of the wish that she made, because she wanted to become a manager. We talked about this earlier. Whatever wish you have, there's always like what is it?
Consequence?
Yeah,
Unintended
consequence. Right.
yep.
So the consequence is her daughter is acting like an absolute mess of a human being. She basically summons Genie, and she's super upset, right? But Genie tells her a story about a man. I think she asks him, like, oh, when do people usually make their third wish, their final wish, right? Because it's getting harder and harder, right? Because she knows it's her last one. Oftentimes humans want to make sure that they're making the right one, or they don't want to give that option up, right? So he tells her a story about a man, right, who saved his last wish for 72 years, okay? So he just kept it, right?
But the man was in torment because it was like hope versus despair the entire time.
Right. It's like, do I do it? All of that, right? But then he ended up making a final wish. He wanted to forget that he ever made the 2 wishes in the first place, which is very interesting, right? And she's like, that's an option? Okay, so Halmoni Miju, there's something going on. There is a romantic storyline here, okay? I don't know about Halmoni. Halmoni doesn't have a crush. I think Halmoni is just like being Halmoni.
Halmoni is just happy to be young.
And she thinks Miju's Minji is adorable because
she's known her since she was a child.
Yes. But Miju has no idea that's Halmoni, and Miju has a crush on Halmoni, okay? So they have all these like really cutesy moments to like set that up, right?
I don't like their names are so close because there's Minji is the friend.
Miju and Minji.
This is another Jiwon Jihawk situation. This didn't have to happen.
So
There's so many more names in a language.
So we noticed in Korean, like the characters and the syllables are very similar for a lot of our main characters, which makes it hard for us because it's like, in like American TV, the rule is like you don't never want like to have people with the same name, similar names.
No one's name is
like your
But
name
it's
shouldn't
kind of like
have the
having
same
a Jack
letter.
and a Jamie.
There's a cute. Sometimes it's like that, like a Jack and a. Well, it's Jack and Diane. That was a song. Every once in a while, but I think nowadays it's like you don't want any confusion.
Yeah, because it's hard for the audience.
It's hard for the audience. Because, we're all dumb.
Okay.
But they're like looking into an display case, like looking at each other's reflections, and it's like very cutesy. But it's very interesting because like that actress that plays Menji is also in Emma, playing the best friend of the younger lady. And It's the same kind of vibe where they have her in male clothing.
Right.
Which
I don't know if this was something for this actress that they're doing.
A little more androgynous.
So
yes.
Right. Yeah. I have some thoughts on that.
A certain kind of something coded.
Well, for me it's like
something
if you want
coded.
to do, we could talk more about this in the next episode, but if you want a gay storyline, I wish it wasn't so like
hidden.
It's not hidden, but I feel like they're making her more masculine for that. I'm like, do you really need that? So it feels a little bit. We have a long ways to go. It feels incredibly outdated, and I get it because Korea's culture, they're definitely
behind in the LGBTQ space.
Right. So for me, that kind of annoyed me. That's why I think in the previous episode, I was like, this is just annoying me because it feels so like they're trying to set her up as like people think she's a boy,
Oh, do guys usually pick this stuff out for you? And then she just goes.
I love with my daughters are 20 and 22, like very Gen Z. Explaining to them like back in the day there was this concept called the lipstick lesbian. Remember?
Oh
You haven't thought about that in a long time.
Yeah.
Because at the time lesbians were known, like the default was very butch.
Very
sort of, more mask coded.
Yes.
And that the idea that you could have a feminine lesbian
very feminine
was sort of an anomaly.
Yes.
And we don't talk about that anymore because it's not a thing because we realize how silly that distinction was.
Yes. Well, this is why I was a little annoyed with the storyline, just because, come on, at this point, let's, anyways.
Because I never understood why they were doing that to her. Like she
they were like, "Oh, are you a man?" Like the first episode, like, they thought she got confused for a guy, and I'm like, "Why are we doing this right now?"
But she was also like wearing a sloppy.
I always feel like in these K-dramas when they do stuff like that, sometimes they're trying to make a more subversive point, and it doesn't quite land, especially for us as Americans. Maybe. That when you think about it from a Korean point of view, they're actually trying to be. A lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, I think they're trying to be more, move the culture in that direction more through these sort of subtext and more subtle kind of messages. Yeah. Because they are where they are, culturally on these things, and just kind of making the point, like, see how silly this is? Like, why do we have to be like this?
One of the Halmoni spots Miju and Minji at this coffee shop.
Which Halmoni is this? Because isn't the hater man?
No, it's a random. So there's like 4 Halmonis, I think 3 Halmonis. This is one that's not the hater, right?
Right.
Where is this set, by the way? Where they live?
It's
the
a little
Halmonis?
Village. It's called Cheongpung.
It's outside of
Seoul.
Okay.
Yeah, little town. So she walks by and then she reports back to the Halmonis, and they're all getting like little like cucumber facials, right? And they're just like, where is Ka-young's Halmoni at?
Yes.
Because she's been on this trip to Hawaii. And thank God they're noticing this, because I was like, this is a huge plot hole if no one is saying
if no one's like, hey, where's my friend at?
Yeah, she's been gone for like weeks at this point, right? And now they're really suspicious, right? Because they're
calling her.
They're calling her. She's not picking up. She can't get in touch. And then the salty Halmoni, Seungre is her name, right? She thinks Ka-young killed her grandma.
Because
she proposes, she theorizes.
Because she's never trusted her.
Yes.
And so she was like, I saw Ka-young and Miju digging in the chili field. So that must be, because she was looking for money.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I saw them in the field. So they must have buried my best friend.
Yes. So this part kind of made me sad, just because the whole point in the earlier episodes was that this entire village protected and took care of Ka-young. So Ka-young became who she is now, an upright citizen, because of the support of the villagers, right? But now all these villagers are acting like fools because Ka-young's Halmoni's not there.
Well, because
it makes me sad.
But she drags everybody and the village leader to Halmoni's house.
Yes.
But everybody the whole time is like, hey, you need to chill. This is not happening. You need to calm down. Yes. And she's like, no, I'm going to show you. You have to understand. And so she's like, no, this is a guest. And she's like, well, Halmoni leaves. And then this girl shows up.
And then coming out of,
right. And then she just came out of Halmoni's room. Mm-hmm. What is she doing here?
Yeah.
I will tell you, the Korean Halmonis, they run deep. There's a certain kind of thing. It was many years ago. We went to one of those like World's Fair things in Korea, and where you had to stand in line or sit in line for like 3 hours in Korean summer heat.
Oh man!
This was in Daejeon. It was Daejeon Expo. It's like 93. Anyway, you'd be waiting for 3 hours in this heat, but every like 20 to 30 minutes, this mob of Halmonis would rush the front door and skip the 3-hour wait. And what was great was they'd always be wearing like a matching neon green hat or like a matching neon green, like waving little flags so they could keep track of each other. They would come as a group and they would bum rush the door. And because Korean culture, everyone would just be like,
nope, can't say.
And then every so often, someone would speak up and be like, yeah. Halmoni, like you can't do this. We've been waiting for 3 hours, and then the Halmonis would look back and just be like, "We're old. We're going in. You can't stop us.
I dare you."
No, literally. And this kept. I'm sitting there. I was like 18, 19 years old. I'm watching this happen. I'm turning to my aunt like, this is like from an American context. Like this is not what the founding fathers. Oh wait, I'm in Korea. Never mind. Like, this is not whatever. Like, this is not okay.
What is it? King Sejong or one of them kings?
Yeah, this is not what King Sejong, made the Hangul language for or whatever.
The village leader gets a FaceTime from Halmoni, and she's in Hawaii. She got on a lace. She's wearing red lipstick. And when a woman puts on red lips, honey,
she is excited.
A thing is happening, and everyone is shocked. Everyone is shocked, and they snatch the phone to say hi, and she's like, I'm fine. I'm going to stay even longer. I might even move in with my daughter. The daughter who lives in Dubai. And so, but young Halmoni, Miju, she's upset.
Yeah.
Because the Halmoni's hater ass Halmoni.
It's causing all this commotion.
Yeah. We find out that Genie was impersonating Halmoni.
Yeah.
To declare Kyung's name.
Yeah.
Even though they were still kind of suspicious of the situation.
Yeah.
And so he expects gratitude, but then Kyung is like, this is my own fault for dealing with the devil, with Satan.
It's kind of mean.
And I was like, because I was like, Kyung.
It's kind of mean.
He just got these Halmonis off your back.
I know. And again, she's just, but she's a psychopath. So she has no emotions. So you could just say whatever.
She seems pretty damn emotional this entire show.
I know. So
every time I look up, she ain't not supposed to have an emotion, but she having plenty damn emotion.
So our Genie is hurt. He's really like 속상해, and he's in the corner and he's moping, right? But then
sitting
this
in front
woman,
of a statue.
Yeah, this woman comes up and she's like staring at him. She's like, oh, and she like she is studying to read 관상, which is like your face. So you know how we have Haju and all of that, the things we talked about, like they're face readers in Korea. So they look at your face and they're
I've watched enough dramas. There was that person.
관상. So she's like, oh, you look like you're a pure soul, and he's like, oh, really?
Is this what they mean when they say you read them or read?
No, reading somebody.
I know. But
got it. Because I was like, you're on the internet enough to know. But I do.
It's kind of like that a little bit.
But I do love the idea of a face reading where I'm just like, oh, I can tell you're a good person.
Right.
I can tell you're a pure soul.
Yep.
But then he was like, my brothers, and I was in this war. And she was like, you're crazy.
See, that's when he kind of tells.
That's
he's
what I mean. Like sometimes he'll just.
He's not saying he's a genie. He's just saying, "Oh, my brother and I have been in war for 300 years," and she's like, "This between who's this crazy person?"
Right.
And then she like runs off.
Okay, and kind of
They've added a lot of random tidbits to this episode. So Yidam, we find out that she was created by the smoke from Angel's hookah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's how she became to be, but she can't hear anything. Right? That was interesting. She's reading lips.
Yeah.
She can't hear because he wanted her to keep secrets from heaven.
Right. So she couldn't hear any secrets in heaven. So he made her deaf. And it's like, he's not, the more and more this goes, the more and more you see him not being nice.
Angel's a dick.
Yeah. And I was like, he might be losing his angel name.
He's never been a good angel.
He's never been a good angel.
So then we go to this random thing where Genie's he's at a gambling den. Why?
He wants money.
Was this your what?
Yeah, this was my girl. What? Yeah. Why is he in a gambling den? It was cute though, because it was just but it was I really feel like this was a vehicle to just see him and get beat up again. Because he just accidentally ends up in this gambling den, and then he's accidentally, and the guy was like, oh, he's like, oh, this is cool, but I don't have any money, and the guy's like, oh, you need some money. It's like, girl, I got you on some money.
So you think there's a whole loan shark sort of storyline is about to take place?
And so I'm just and it's I was like, so I want this to go somewhere, because he comes up to the man and rubs noses with him, and again, so this is him. It's you see him more integrated in society, but then he's still rubbing noses with people, and so then that dude freaks out, and so now it's Kyung has to beat him up.
Because he goes to jail, or he gets sent to jail because he's rubbing noses. He gets reported to the police officer oh, it's you again. Why are you rubbing noses? And then he researches. He's like, oh, you're right. In the Middle East, they do this. And he's like, yeah, it's a greeting.
But here's the thing. Do you understand how upset? Because this is an illegal gambling den. Because is gambling legal in Korea?
It's illegal.
So
hence these gambling dens. Yeah,
they're casinos, but only for non-Koreans.
For foreigners, yes.
That's insane.
We went Walker Hill Hotel. I went.
You could just walk in and just say, "Are you Korean?" It's like, "Ani."
You got to show your ID.
You have to have your passport.
Yeah, passport.
Do you understand how upset the man running, this loan shark running a gambling den had to be for him to call the police?
Yes.
Because he was in the middle of committing crime.
Yes,
and
he was about
like,
to get
this I cannot handle.
Yeah.
And so he left a gambling den and then called the cops because a man rubbed a nose. He's like, pay no attention to what's happening in this greenhouse. This man put his nose on mine. You see what I'm saying? So like he should at least have goons of some sort. Get 3 of them goons that's over up at the mansion and be like, hey, beat this dude up. He just put his nose on me. Instead, he called the cops.
It's so funny.
So now he has to get bailed out, and then
I do love that you thought there was going to be a thing where he uses the magic to gamble and win or whatever. Like it's very like leading in that direction. Well, but then it just takes a turn and it's
so stupid and random.
Well, I knew we can't use his magic to win and like because
he can't.
No,
he's just like roaming around. So I don't even understand why. So it's like
he's
like
losing
wandering
to the kid in the video game because he can't use his magic for his benefit at all. So he loses to the kid in the video game. That's why he has to call him Hyung. Yeah. And then
in that situation, still like there's a guy who doesn't have any money. And so, like, he's gonna go and gamble. So you're so like, okay, let's see what happens with the gambling, and then there's no gambling
because it's
cut to the police station.
Just a way for him to get beaten up again.
So again, if we were giving notes, if we were a network, and I get the script and I'm looking at this, I'd be like, what the is this?
Cut it.
I'd be like, cut it.
Oh, I loved it.
I think the writer, she has a lot of creative like agency because she's a huge, very famous writer, right? So she can do whatever the F she wants, clearly. Because I just didn't understand why they added this part specifically.
Because she's saving him again.
Okay. But
what it does is it's creating more for their relationship. She's saving him again.
And she's beating the shit out of him again.
But then she beats him. So he has this pin that he puts in.
Cute. Yeah.
Because like there's times that people can see him and times people can't see him.
So when he doesn't have the pin, if he's not wearing a pin in his hair, people can see him. But if he puts the pin on, no one can see him.
Oh, that's what that was.
And
put
then
the
she's
pin.
like, put the pin on.
I thought it was some kind of tracker. I didn't understand.
So put the pin on so we can't see. But then that's why when you cut to it, you see her beating nothing. Because if she beats him in front of the police station, she'll get arrested.
Right,
because she beat him before in front of the police. And they were like, you can't do this, you can't do this. And his head was dented, his arm was messed up. And he's like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the important part, though. So Sang-tae is walking through a convenience store or a grocery store. And he is looking at the black hair dye, but he's like, oh, there's only 2 left. Okay, so we have another like little piece of hint.
More foreshadowing.
Right? Okay, foreshadowing. Okay, now we jump to Bokyung, who I hate this character. She is absolutely obnoxious. So she is vaping because everyone loves to vape in Korea apparently. So she's vaping and she's looking at her bank statement because she had made the wish earlier, right? Cheongi dambe, literally e-cigarette. So she's upset that Kayoung's transfer limit, right, to get her money is only 10,000 won per day. Okay,
so she's 10 million.
10 million, yes, yeah. 10,000.
About $10,000.
Yeah.
Roughly.
So right. So then she makes her second wish, right, which is to increase Kayoung's limit so she could steal more of her money.
This is what I don't understand.
It's too.
You have all the time in the world to steal this girl's money. Why does it need to happen quickly? Also, if you're committing financial fraud, if anyone knows about financial fraud,
because she wanted the Birkin.
Well, but she works in a bank. She should know this needs to take longer. But this is the stupidest thing because it was like because when you were talking about like you have to take someone else to get it, her first wish was to have all of Kayoung's money.
In her account.
Yeah.
Which was the mistake because she's an idiot.
And so Genie was like, oh, you want a bunch of money? And she said, no, I want Kayoung's money in my account. Transfer it to my account. And he goes, oh, you want Kayoung's downfall. And she's like, run me the cash, right? If the bitch works in a bank, so she should know this is very trackable because you sent it to an account.
It's going like this, like by the exact same amount.
Right. And so
it's getting transferred to her account.
With her name on it. So first of all, her wish should have been put her money in cash.
Swiss bank account.
In a Swiss bank account. Or something like that. Make me another bank account. Make me another. I would have said, put this money in cash. Every day, whatever the transfer is, put it in here is a Tupperware. Here is a bin. every day, give me some of her money and put it in this bin.
Give me cash.
Give me cash, because then what she can do is then she can open another bank account and then she can slowly deposit. But if you a hater doing hater ass shit, you don't think of a plan ahead.
I like this as sort of almost like a Reddit type of sort of thing, like the am I the asshole type of thing, where it's like the whole deal is you have to come up with a wish that is foolproof, that there's no loophole, and then it's everyone else's job to figure out the loophole, how it's not going to work out the way you think.
But she's a moron because she asked Genie to raise Kyung's daily limit to the maximum.
Right.
And then Kyung ends up in the bank, and so she ends up raising her maximum to 50
million.
50 million
won.
About 40 grand a day.
Right.
Another random ass scene with Miju and Halmoni, right? Or sorry. Yeah, Minji and Halmoni. Mm-hmm. They're at the gym. Minji is training, and I just wanted to say Halmoni's outfit, the Von Dutch hat, the Juicy Couture. I was like, this is like 2000 gens, I
did not know we were still making these clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, they're back.
Oh, they're back.
Well, I know the baby fat is
The
back.
youths are wearing them.
Well, listen, I
should have kept all my Juicy stuff.
Well, this is how my mother felt in the 90s when bell bottoms came back.
Yeah.
And so now it's happening. I was like, oh my God, I don't even have a kid. Ugh.
Genie helps his friend, the little boy, right? Because the little boy is getting abused by his mom's boyfriend. So he helps him, beats up the guy, brings him to some, I don't even know where he takes him to.
He took him to the desert where everybody else got killed.
Yeah. And then Angel appears, and basically he's telling Genie again that he can't continue meddling in human life.
And is that in response to him
doing that to the kid, just in general, because
I think because the little boy didn't have to make a wish. The little boy didn't have to do anything. He's literally
just meddling now.
A paid assassin.
Yeah. So this is interesting, because basically when he confronts him, Genie's just like, are you sure that I'm the bad one and you're not the bad one? Because now, do you know what I mean? Because I feel like this entire time we've always said that Angel isn't Angel-like at all, right?
No.
That's in the traditional sense. He's
not helping.
He's not. He's the evil one, right?
The angel of death.
The angel of death. He is, yeah. So,
well, technically he never intercedes, because all he does is just
he lets things happen.
Well, that's how what
does he do?
Sell real estate.
When people die, what part does he take?
He carries their soul.
Oh, I see.
He chats with them. It's Grim Reaper, right? He comes and he's like, it's time.
DHL for
yeah.
Okay.
So then Kyung, she is going, because her watch, right? Mm-hmm. In the earlier episode, her watch was going crazy when she touched the hourglass.
That's
right?
holding her ashes.
So she goes and gets her.
Her
ashes.
So the hourglass is actually an urn. So when she died in her past life 983 years ago, when he grabbed her ashes and then he took them and put them inside the hourglass.
So she's getting her watch checked, and the watchmaker guy's like, there's nothing wrong with it.
And that's
right?
Halmoni's watch.
Yeah.
Halmoni gave her when she was a little girl.
Yeah. So then she goes home, and then she's looking at the lamp. This part cracked me up, okay? She looks at Genie's lamp, and she flips it upside down, right? And at the bottom, there's an inscription of some sort, right? So she's like, what is this? And she uses AI. She uses Google Translate.
Let me tell you something. If you've ever been in the 99 Ranch Market or the Resco or H Mart, that Google Translate,
it works.
Man.
Yeah, so it's great.
There's a lot of
it's getting better.
It's getting better.
So there's so many inspirational things on a bottle of tea.
So the Google Translate says that the lamp was created in 1041 AD. This is a little weird, because this entire time Genie has been saying he has been locked up for 983 years. So the math isn't mathing, right? So she's confused. And then she realizes, oh my God, there's a 20-year gap, and Genie's lying to me, okay?
But he doesn't know when his lamp was made?
He doesn't know. This is the first, he has no idea.
Oh, because he's never
He
seen
doesn't
the bottom
even know.
of his
So
lamp.
yeah, he says that in the next episode. I think he's like, yeah, he's been inside. He never looked at it.
It's like when I got pulled over because my brake light was out, and the
you
cop
didn't
was
know.
like, he's like, you don't know your brake light was out.
I'm like, how would I fucking know?
I was like, I'm never behind my own car. And he went, what? And I said, I'm never behind my own car, so I wouldn't see the brake light. And he goes, you're never behind your own car. I said, yeah. He's just like, of course you don't know. You're never behind your own. And I broke this man's brain.
Oh
And eventually
he was like, just figuring this out.
And I was like, "Are you going to give me a ticket?" He's like, "Cause you weren't behind your hope." And I was like, "Hey, Brian, can I get my ticket? I got somewhere to be." I broke his brain, and he was like, "But writing people tickets, you're never behind your own car." I'm like, "Yeah, policing is crazy. I gotta go."
So
look down.
Random scene with Daniel Henney. So Daniel Henney is sniffing and he's looking for his family. Daniel Henney's a dog. He's playing a dog.
The saddest. This made me so sad.
And then Bokyung gets caught for stealing money because there are records and she's an idiot. So
because this isn't the year 1041.
So she gets called in by the manager. She's like, "What the are you doing?" She walks in with the Birkin and you're like, "What are you doing? Are you an idiot? You're truly an idiot."
This is why I used to say to one of my friends, not everybody knows how to crime.
The creepy kid, right, with the limp, the limp, right? He is giving an apple to the genie who's locked up in his house, okay?
But we already know they don't have to eat.
And then he's like, "Thank you for giving me the history of Koryo, the book," right? Okay. Then
is Koryo where the word Korea comes from?
Yeah.
Koryo. That's what I thought.
Koryo, okay. Yeah. So then Kyung goes to Angel and he's like, "Okay." She's like, "Take me." Because she's trying to figure out her past. She can't. The watch isn't working. The lamp is being stupid. Like all of this, right? So she's like, "I'm going to go with you." So he takes her back, okay? This is interesting. So they go back in time and they see Genie. He is waiting in the desert for his new master, okay? He's talking to another genie in Arabic. Then you see a caravan of traders, and they have Korean children as slaves. So I had to Google this because I was just like, "Is this even real?" Like,
because
what is happening?
Take the 200 women as the
as a
tribute to the Ming.
The Ming, right? It says that there is some evidence that there were traders during this time from the Middle East and Korea.
Silk Road.
I was like, are they making this right? Like, yeah, somewhat. They didn't say Silk Road particular, but they said that during the Koryo dynasty, right? Korea was engaged in trade and had merchants coming from distant lands, including from the Middle East. Okay. And then there's right. And there are recorded arrivals of Muslim merchants in Korea in the early 11th century.
Wow.
Very interesting.
So this would be
for instance, groups of Arab and Muslim merchants in 1024, 1025, 1040, which is interesting, per Korean records, okay? Mm-hmm. And then I tried to figure out if there were actual like slaves, Korean slaves taken. There's one journal, Sage Journals. I don't know, okay, people can fact check me, but it implied that there was some slave traffic in Korea associated with the Middle Eastern traders.
Well, there had to be because Korea had a long history of slavery.
The Nobis, yes. So this is somewhat, I'm sure I don't know. They probably played around.
Did the research.
She did some of the,
well,
she
it's probably
did the research.
Someone's found that, or it became like a trendy idea for a little bit online, and so then they just pulled that and extrapolated into a little mini storyline.
Okay, so these traders are trafficking these children, right? And then there's a pack of wild dogs. Wild dogs are very scary. I was like, oh my god, these little hyenas, right? Like. It reminds me every time I think of these like wild dogs. Oh god,
this is better than the boar.
You remember the wild boar in Queen of Tears?
Oh yeah,
the awful. I cannot.
Well, the thing you ever seen like a wild hog? They are actually that big.
See, it was so fake. Anyway.
No, it was very fake. But I'm like, this can't be this big. And then you see like not like a cute little like pig, but you were like, oh,
like
hogs
Pumbaa
are
was big,
huge.
Pumbaa was big. Okay,
Pumbaa is hilarious.
Pumbaa was very big.
Pumbaa was not that
Pumbaa
big.
was big. I mean, the real Pumbaa, I guess. The real life Pumbaa. So they're surrounded by the wild dogs, right? Then Genie appears. So there's like this storm, right? And they're all trying to like.
Oh, the walking genies.
And then right, but there's the wild dogs, right? So they end up throwing or sacrificing Hunbish, this like young Korean boy, to the wolves or to the wild dogs, right? And then
I was wondering why didn't they just kill him?
So he's getting like bit. I mean, it was kind of graphic.
It was very graphic and torn apart.
Oh my gosh, I was like, this is scary. But then Kyung, or the past version of Kyung, finds the lamp. She rubs it. Genie comes.
The little girl version.
Mm-hmm. Genie comes, and Genie's like, okay, get a wish, and she wishes to save Hunbish, right? And give him a long life.
Yeah, to save her oraboni.
And give him a long life, which was interesting because it literally becomes that. So then Genie kills the traders and he gives Hunbish their remaining lifespans.
Which I did not know he was able to do that.
Right. Then she's seeing this happen, right? And then she asks for her second wish, right? And she says, please end the slave trade of my people, of the Korean people, okay? So then he goes, okay. So he destroys the trade routes, which is in the book in 1040, right? That the trade routes disappeared in 1040 for whatever reason. But that causes tsunamis and mass casualties. So because of that wish, a lot of people died, okay? Then Angel shows up and he's like, little girl, what are you doing? You're causing all this, like death
and
destruction. You need to stop, right? And then he says, to gain something, you must lose something. For one to live, another must die. So that's the rule. That's what you're talking about, right? Zero sum, right. Then she makes her third wish and she says, well, Genie's basically like, you need to make your third wish now. And he thinks that she is going to be, she's going to make a selfish wish, right? Because she's dying as well, right?
Because he sets the dogs on her.
He sets the dogs on her because he wants her to make the selfish wish, but she refuses. As she's like getting bitten by this dog, she refuses, right? And she says, instead of a wish for myself, I wish punishment for both of us, right?
Which made him so mad. Because how dare you ask for my punishment? I am the genie of the lamp.
Right. So then Angel comes. That this is what ends up happening, right? He locks Genie up, right? And then Kyung, we learn that was the one righteous human person, right? And then Genie, as she dies, he watches her, and then it's the scene of him watching over her body decompose and become the sand for years and years, right? Okay, so that is that is what happened. Okay?
So he's getting absorbed. So and then he catches that handful,
and then he gets it, and then the lamp goes down, right? So then, in this flashback or whatever, back in time situation, present day Kyung goes up to Genie and she touches him, okay? She touches him. And then she looks at his face, okay? And she's like, is this like, she's trying to figure out whether he's really upset, if he's full of rage, or has some sort of sorrow, right?
Right.
And she realizes, oh my God, in the past, I always thought in the flashback she always thought that he was upset, but he wasn't. In this case, he's actually remorseful, he has grief, and he's sad about her dying. So she's like, oh my God.
Which I wonder why. Because I saw this scene, I'm just like, well, why is he remorseful about her? He just killed 20 dudes. Yes. And it gave this little boy their life force.
Yes.
So why is it because she's the one that condemned him?
Yes.
Because he's always like, you're the one that condemned me, I came to kill you. The one that condemned me, that came to kill you. So why is he remorseful about this girl? Is it because she's the one righteous human and then she died?
I don't know. I thought it has to do with the other flashback she keeps on having.
Where she's inside the lamp?
Where she's inside the lamp with the,
with the scars on her face.
So there is a woman, there's another version of Kyung, which is, I believe is part of the 20-year memory gap that Genie has, right? So maybe it's tied to that. We'll see.
So it's TBD.
TBD.
I can tell you this writer, she's very good at foreshadowing. That I can tell you. Because it's like, I could not imagine the pieces of yarn being connected on this board in this writer's room. I could not imagine.
Yeah. So she touches the Genie, right? And that is when the hourglass in the Genie's lamp starts activating. So it was kind of dormant, right?
Forever.
But then it flips over and it starts like...
the sand starts running.
It starts. And then her lifespan shortens by a day. And then in the present, Genie's in the workshop where she has her like coffins. She's like making coffins for herself. And he is starting to he feels something in his chest. He falls down and he's like burning stuff that whatever he's touching. So he's like almost like catching on fire.
He's on fire, yeah.
He's on fire. And
it's like heartburn.
Yeah, heartburn. And then he's screaming. And then he remembers meeting that Kyung, right? So that version of Kyung with the
scratches on her face.
And then he's like crying bloody tears. Very
and
intense.
He's screaming.
Yeah. And then that's how it ends.
Because I do wonder, which is a lot happening, because he's setting everything on fire. He's laying on the ground. And so it's just like, I wonder why when present day Kyung, because this is the thing. Because I was thinking about like time travel, and it's like, it makes it seem like the travel to the past, that like time is continuously going in the back. Like the past is always going. That's how you can go visit it. But then I remember there was this TV show,
The Rules of Time Travel.
The Rules of Time Travel, right. So I'm thinking about this because I was like, because if she's gone into the past to see how she died, technically this is probably like a memory of somebody, or just like just a planet, like a existence memory. But I wonder what it is about her touching Genie that shortens her lifespan.
Yeah.
Because of their fates are already connected because he'd been waiting for her to come back.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it's the other time periods where they say she came back and was also helping.
Yeah.
It's what is it between her coming to him when the moment she died that shortens her life a day? And then, because I couldn't understand his reaction more than anything. Like, why is it her showing them this compassion make him burst into flames? Like, I mean, this they're definitely a WTF moment because I don't understand his reaction to her touching him.
Yeah. No, I was confused, or not confused, because obviously we're going to figure this out. Like, this is the mystery that we're going to solve in the upcoming episodes, but...
How many episodes is this?
This is 13.
13 total.
And this is episode 6. I think she does a really, really good job of setting up like the world building that she's doing in this like short amount of time. It's actually quite brilliant.
Oh, you have to watch the next episode.
And these episodes are only an hour long. They're like 55 minutes. So everything is like, she does a really good job. This episode, though, I have to say, though, like, it was just a lot of random stuff. And I know some things come back in the future episodes, but I just felt like the gambling den stuff.
Him getting arrested.
Do we really need all of that?
There was a couple things we didn't need.
I wish they almost spent more time on the final of Kyung discovering, but maybe they needed to kind of, like, spread that out for the rest of the episodes. But it's interesting. But the other question I had was... Genie's interesting because I feel like Genie now we're kind of understanding.
What's his name again? Iblis?
Iblis. Yeah, it means Satan. Satan.
Satan in Arabic.
Yeah, Satan in Arabic. Okay. Yeah.
So that was a lot of.
There was a lot of controversy.
A lot of controversy at the
People
very
didn't
beginning
like
of this.
that.
I heard about that a little bit.
Genie just seems like. Basically, he's been misunderstood because I feel like what Genie's doing, because we're kind of seeing Genie, though, back in the day when he was kind of like sneaky. Like the way he's doing this to young Kyung, he's like tricking her almost. Seems like Genie is basically he knows when people are bad, right? Because these are pretty despicable people the way they're behaving. So he's going to egg them on and he's going to make them do more evil things. But he's also willing to help good humans, right? He's willing to help his friend. The little boy, right? He's willing to help Kyung because he understands Kyung at the core. He's understanding like she's a pretty selfless person, so she's trying to do good, and it's against what he ultimately wants, right? Because he wants her to do right.
Because he wants to kill her.
He wants to kill her, but it's one of those, you know.
I don't know if the show's about second chances, but it's definitely about like being more mindful of the decisions you're about to make.
Yes.
Because you can't get a second chance because you can't get another wish. Like you can't wish for more wishes.
So that was episode 6
Yay!
of I was going to say marry my husband.
So
I always
was
do
I.
this. I always like, yeah. So that was episode 6 of Genie Make a Wish.
Yay!
So much fun. We'll be back next week for episode 7.
Yes.
We want to thank Nick
Thank
for being such an amazing guest.
Thank you.
This is so much fun. We're just hanging
Sorry
out and
this went so
chatting.
long. I felt like I made things.
No,
long.
you have a guest. This always goes long.
Yeah.
I feel
We're
like
good guests,
I'm a tangent person. You're a tangent person. You put us together, it's like to the second power.
Tangential.
Yeah.
And we ain't never closing this triangle.
We're like
It's a graph.
So
calculus something.
we'll be back next week.
Yes.
To chase episode 7. For Sarangees, please be sure to check out our social clips.
Check out the social clips. We're on the Instagrams. We're on the TikToks. Please subscribe and like on the YouTubes. You can submit your questions, thoughts, rants, prayers, whatever at chasingkdrama@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you directly. Tell us what you think of the pod on the socials. And follow us on the YouTube, the Spotifys, the Apples, Las Manzanas. And we want to thank Appa again, your Korean dad, for coming and talking with us about episode 6 of Genie Make a Wish. And we will see you next week. 사랑해.
Oh.
It's okay. I like that. I know we don't tell people.
Chasing K-Dramas is hosted and executive produced by Dulce Sloan and me, Chrissy Choi. I edit the audio and video, and our production is led by Thomas Yuen from TY Media and Go Get 'Em Productions. Our artwork is designed by Yice Cream. We're an indie podcast, and we're always looking for fun partnerships. If you're a brand that's interested in sponsoring our chases, or for your fan who just wants to stay in touch, please check out our website at chasingkdramas.com.